Hey, how you doing? This is Martin, owner and trainer of Fuller Fitness. This is another edition of home workout video, and I originally didn't plan on it, but going back to a Atlas soft stone, the reason for it, I kind of did it in some of the other videos, depending on when you see this, I think last week, but I'm adding to it. There was one part that I was going to add that I didn't add, so this time I will, especially seeing that this is a lighter ball, at least for me. This is a 50-pound Atlas ball, so I'm able to do more without it taking a lot of time. Definitely not a lot of space. I could have did this inside, but as I've mentioned in other videos, depending on which ones you have seen, uh, I mentioned it's, again, so you're at home, that's great, but for me, there's a kitty in the house, there's a pit bull in the house, so to make sure they don't get in the way and not having to lock them up in a room or a cage, and especially since my cat would definitely try to make a cameo appearance. She's been doing that for almost 2 years, if not 2 years. So do what works for you, whether it's inside or outside. Plus, depending on when you see this video, it's spring. So now that it's spring, instead of being inside all the time, if at all, just go ahead and bring the workout outside. Yesterday it rained, so I didn't do some of the stuff I wanted to do yesterday. Again, depending on when you see this video, so that might not matter. If you are currently subscribed to my channel and watched some of my videos and liked some of my videos or did any of those, I thank you oh so much. Again, this is an Atlas soft stone. This Atlas soft stone, compared to some of the other videos you may have seen, is only 50 pounds. I say only because it's light for me. If it's not for you, that's okay. Again, this is not to say you have to do the weight that I'm doing, because that's stupid on my part to tell you that, and it might be stupid on the part of some of you to try to do it just because I did it. So this is 50 pounds. If you use 20, 30, 40, whatever it is, I have a ball that's 100 pounds. If you haven't seen that in some of my previous videos, I have a ball that's 150 pounds. If you haven't seen that in some of my previous videos, and I have a ball that's 175 pounds, you haven't seen it all. Because with that one, I think I might have mentioned it in one of the last videos, but with that one, something about compared to this one, something about the way that it's made, it just makes it so freaking hard to pick up. So I can pick it up, it's just not every time. Sometimes I try to pick it up and I'm SOL, because sometimes it hurts my elbows, and then other times it's, for some reason, I'm just not able to pick it up sometimes. So I picked it up over my shoulder one time, which I'm kind of shocked at, saying that I was inside and I was worried about breaking anything. Again, that's why I'm outside now, even though I'm only using 50 pounds, but still, just to make sure, at least for me. So if you're inside, good for you. Hopefully that works as best as you can. And I'm literally doing a full body workout, so I'm doing a bunch of stuff with this ball with high hopes. It's unlikely for it to take a long period of time, saying that I'm outside by myself, at least as far as my backyard is concerned. So the first one, if you have the room if you're inside, and then obviously if you're outside, you should have more than enough room. Be shocked if you don't. So the first one, and I'm not doing a lot of stuff either, so not a lot of sets, I should say. So you pick it up, put it on your knees, boom. So that's one. And if you're outside, you could just go ahead and drop it. And if you, one more. So I tossed it just because I was in the groove. Excuse me. I tossed it because I was in the groove. And I can do that, obviously. So it's 50 pounds for me. I can toss it, so I did. So modified version, don't toss it. That might be the only difference that might need to be made for any of you that do this, whether it's 20 pounds, 50 pounds, 100 pounds, 175, whatever it is. Do what works for you. Again, it also depends on whether you're inside or outside, and then whether or not you have it in you to lift it at all, and then give it a good press to toss it in the air. Alright, so the next one, depending on how many of my videos you have seen within the last 3 weeks, you've seen this one also. So you saw the one I just did before, as well as this one. So pick that bad boy up. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. 6. Alright, so if you haven't seen previous videos, you should have saw me do both sides. I believe in that. I think it's smarter to do that. To lift both sides, so that again, if you haven't seen previous videos, I don't believe in having a dominant side. That's a waste of time for your life, for your sport, possibly for your business, but most importantly, as I just said, for your life. Why cater to one side when you got two? So that way, if you have certain days to where, for whatever reason, one side is really tired or sore or whatever it is, you don't have to not do it just because you catered to that one side when you have two. So then certain things happen. So if you break your arm and it's the one that was your dominant arm, are you gonna just sit around and do nothing because you made sure not to use the other side? So I just feel that's smart for everyone to do, regardless of their age or gender. But you guys get to do what you want, which I see a lot of people doing. So do what works for you. So we got the overhead press, if you're able to do that. And then for those who want to add to it, I'm pretty sure you've seen it. And then if you haven't, so I guess I'll go ahead and do that too. So you have it to where, for the first exercise you did, now I'm just going to add something to the first one I did. So now, if you squat first and then press, then it's up to you if you toss her or not. But 2, 3, 4. All right. So I think a lot of people are likely to do that anyway, depending on the size and weight of the ball or whatever it is that you're using. So that's that. 1, 2. So with that, just doing squats without the press. That's up to you if you do that. It's likely I would. It's up to you. And you don't have to do all this at once. But if you're short on time, or just want to do it like I do it. So it's squats, by the way. So all right, pick it up. Well, I hope you're not arching much, if at all. So okay, so that at least for those of us that focus on certain muscles, is working the 4 muscles you have up here. The 3 muscles you have here, I believe it's 4, but one of them isn't classified as a butt muscle. But the 3 butt muscles we have, as well as another muscle that's not considered a butt muscle based off of the studies I have done for decades. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything. And then just the fact that holding the ball here, your abs are always engaged, so I don't have to do a lot of that later. Abs are engaged, keeping the back straight, so everything's engaged, especially holding the ball here. Then if you want to, hold the ball over your head, but I'll leave that up to you if you do that. So then, not only are you hitting all those muscles with the first exercise, second exercise, 1B that I did, so I guess you could say the third one, to where I did the squat and the press, so that part is up to you. Then you got the squat. So if you do any of those, great. If you do all of them, that's up to you. This is just something I chose to do to challenge myself. I got really excited about it randomly, to challenge myself, especially with the next exercise I'm going to do. So again, it's for me, it's fun to challenge myself, especially if there's a little bit of excitement that I might not be able to do it for whatever the specific reason. So the next one is a hamstring curl. Still using that. I'm going to be on the floor, put it between my feet. I don't know if it's going to be my feet or my calves, I'm not sure. So whichever one works for you, but you're still going to do a hamstring curl. I'm going to use the same weight. So that's another good thing about doing certain workouts, especially if you have the energy to just go from one to the next, which is the goal of this, if you do it. And then if you just happen to do it 3 to 5 times, depending on the number of reps that you do. So again, that's something else you could play with. And then if you're interested, you can do live online workouts, or you can just do online workouts where this will already be in the calendar, your workout calendar that's on the app that I use. For those that are interested, and then you just have the option of subscribing here, and then you'll just, you'll see it anyway. But then if you subscribe, you'll be specifically notified, especially if you press the bell, specifically notified that I added stuff, which I'm going to be adding more on here as far as home workouts are concerned, due to issues with recording stuff at the gym and them threatening to cancel memberships due to people doing personal training at someone else's gym, which is understandable, but at the same time frustrating for me and my clients. So the other option is to work out outside and or do live online workouts, or online workouts that are not live. So now, like I said, do a hamstring curl here, alright, which is getting the focus is on the hamstring, but that is also getting your butt muscles as well as your calves all at the same time. So and then I'll try to remember at the end to make sure, but the focus is on the hamstring, also getting the glutes as well as your calves. And if, for those who don't know, there are 2 calf muscles. So you got the bigger one that everybody knows about, the gastrocnemius, then the smaller one, the soleus, which I don't know if a lot of people knew. I think I was surprised when I found out, however long ago I found out. So alright, so you lie down on the floor. Let me move the camera a little bit. Alright, lie down on the floor. It's up to you if you put a mat or something under you. I thought about I think about bringing my mat out here quite a bit. I never do. Oh well, actually that's why I took my uniform off, my business uniform off, so I can get down on the floor. So it's up to you on whether or not you put it in between your feet or in between your calves or anywhere in there, still being able to curl it. So on the floor. Okay, and then all you do, if you can, one, give it a squeeze so that you can actually lift it. 3, 4, 5. Don't hold your breath at all, even if your breath stinks. Oh well. 7, 8. 2 more. 9 and 10. So, depending on the weight of the ball that you have, if you have it, and the size, which depending on where you get it from is likely to be that big. Anything over 20 pounds, I believe they'll be that size or bigger. So, depending on where you got them from. So, that's the interesting thing is, I thought about it, and that was literally the first time. Well, I did it before I recorded this video, but today is literally the first time I've done that, trying to figure out how. And then obviously once I figure it out, I share it with you guys. So that's depending on the weight of the ball, and then if you can actually do it, which obviously depends on the weight of the ball, or if it bothers your knees. So let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, I think, then 5. So then we go on to, again, it's full body, and you don't necessarily have to do all of this, but again, one of the reasons I got so excited about doing it is because, you know, to try to do it all and then not have to take a lot of time doing certain things. So again, to do this and to do all of it, and then if I wasn't talking to you guys, to just do it all. So every single exercise, however many sets and reps, and then, or just do one set of everything, take a breath for maybe 30 seconds to 60 seconds, and then do it all again. So there's a lot of ways to make that work. So it also is up to you, as far as the order you do it in. So now the goal is to do rows, for those who might not know what those are, but it works the back, especially it works the arm too, but if you actually do a full range of motion, it'll focus on the back specifically. All right, and then that is also if you can do whatever, so again, obviously still the 50-pound ball, and if you have a lighter one and not able to do 50, don't want to, whatever the case may be. So for me today, it's 50. I definitely thought about the 100, but in terms of going faster, I decided to go with the 50, and I wasn't sure how my elbow might feel to deal with the 100-pound ball today. All right, so just rows. Alright, so that's it. It's a small movement, especially with the ball being so big, so just boom. So as soon as it hits my stomach, bring it down and keep it going. Alright, so you got the front, got the back. Now we get the front, hitting the chest. Alright. And again, if you when doing stuff like this, if you have to, I don't think I've ever used a heart rate monitor, and even if you're using the machines at the gym, the ellipticals and the treadmills and even the bikes and whatever else they might have cardio related, that has those hand grips, the little silver or metal whatever pieces that you put your hands on, and if you hold it firm enough, you don't have to squeeze the heck out of it, but hold it firm enough to where it would tell you your heart rate, which I believe it's accurate, and if not, it's as close to accurate as can be. So um, this isn't, and again, my point is I've never had a heart rate monitor, and if I did, it wasn't mine. But I don't think I've used them. And the point is, I don't think you necessarily need them. So again, if you use them, great. Hopefully it works for you. If not, my opinion, whether you're doing cardio or you're doing stuff like this that I'm doing, trying to go from one thing to the next, so whether it's a superset or a circuit of exercises like what this would be if I wasn't talking to you guys, just going from one thing to the next. Okay, I think the airplane pet. Nope. Yeah, so I think the airplane passed, so hopefully you can still hear me. Um, but again, there's so many ways to do this, whether you use a heavier ball, you move faster, which is why I chose the 50-pound ball, going faster, being safe, being smart, having fun, hopefully, and just doing what makes sense to you. So again, as far as the heart rate monitor, I don't believe in working out till you get to a certain heart rate and then slowing down or whatever. I mean, yes, slow down if you have to, but I don't think you need a heart rate monitor for that, especially if you're experienced with your body, because I'm 35. But even in my 20s, by age 26, I already knew it. For me, I don't think I necessarily need a heart rate monitor. So again, that's not saying don't use it or it's a waste of time. That's just saying that I don't use it. And if you don't want to or whatever, I don't think you have to. If you feel like you need to slow down, obviously slow down. And then if you feel you need to take a certain amount of time in between sets, almost regardless of what your goal is, because usually I prefer to lift as heavy as possible to where I would take between 2 to 4 minutes in between sets. So doing stuff like this, I don't have to take as much time in between. Allows me to change up my workout a little bit. It's a different challenge, different level of fun. And why not? Again, especially for the sake of changing things up, because I mentioned in a video a week, if not 2 weeks ago, depending on your age, you grow up benching, deadlifting, squatting, and then you might do some other stuff too, which hopefully you do, or did, and then hopefully you are. So, all right, so we got the back, now we get the front. So, and yes, I'm gonna have to deal with all the dirt, but whatever. You shouldn't, um, the workout should be not based on how sexy you look at the gym, in my opinion, at least not at the time of the workout. So, this is, if you were doing a dumbbell chest press, barbell chest press, so that's all this is. Just using a ball, and with the ball, you have to have the strength as well as the balance, and that works together more than people think. And then it's up to you on how fast you go, how many reps, how many sets. So like I did when I tossed it over my head, I'm gonna toss it up over my buddy. Okay, please be careful if you do that. One more. So if you do that, please be careful, especially if you're inside, but please be careful. And then even if you're outside, be careful, because if you do something like that and you turn your head or move your hand a little bit, or it slips a little bit, which it could with this, well, probably anything, but with the way the ball was made to where it can slip right through your hands. And since it was a chest press, it should just hit me in the chest. But obviously, being in that position, you can get hit in the chin, the lip, the nose, the head, and then I got glasses. So break my nose, break my glasses. So be careful if you're doing that. So now it's a weird to do using that, especially with it being so big, not because of the weight, just the size. So the goal is to do a bicep curl now, and you've already done a full body workout, so doing this is just a bonus. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feels weird going down. One more. Feels weird going down, but alright, so the next thing is tricep extension, and I think that is going to be it. Yes, you can do more, but that shouldn't necessarily be the goal of a workout, to do more. So now, get down here, do a tricep extension, like I just said with the press. I'm not going to toss it, because that I probably will hit my head. So okay, figure out how you're going to put your hands on, and then just press it up. Be careful. 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. And that is it. Again, you can add more to it if you choose to, if you can, if you want to, or just think you should. So there's many ways to make that work. So if you watch this video the whole time, I thank you for that. If you watched even a little bit of it and stopped watching it, I thank those people too. But if you watched the whole video up to this point and hopefully to the end, I thank you. If you liked it, I thank you for that. If you subscribe, I thank you for that. And hopefully you did subscribe, so that way you are alerted as soon as possible about every video that's uploaded for your benefit, and hopefully you actually like it. And then even if you don't, because some people just don't like it, including some of my relatives, a lot of my relatives, see the benefit of it. And for me, it's fun. Hopefully it's fun for you too. Again, hopefully you subscribe if you want to try live online workouts, or online workouts that aren't live, pre-recorded.